Well, good morning. Today is Wednesday, and yet again, September 17th. If you watched my video yesterday, you'll catch the humor of that. But I forgot to look on my calendar to see about birthdays and anniversaries. I was just so excited to remind you to let me know when I make a mistake because I went the whole day yesterday thinking it was the 17th. I know I complained about how fast the month goes, but I just I don't know. I'm rushing the month, and I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. But let me check and see who's. I think there was. Let me check. No birthdays, but we have one anniversary. It's Patty and Chris Collins' 26th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great, great anniversary. You know what? My short-term memory is not what it used to be, but long-term, I can tell you stories from long ago, back in the olden days. But remembering the day of the week, forget it. Big congratulations goes out to Edie over at Edie's Adventures. Blah, 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 blah. Her Guardians beat Jim's Tigers last night. I guess it went into 10 innings. And the Guardians were victorious. Hopefully that's the only win they get against the Tigers because Jim does not accept loss well. So, speaking of Jim, there is no Jim today. He went with his buddies to the shooting range to shoot, obviously. But so he left early this morning, and I don't know what time he's going to be back. It's nice when you get out with your friends, you know. So maybe we'll go for another walk this evening. Probably not, because I think the Tigers are playing again today. Everything's all around well, on Sundays everything's around football. I'll give them that, because I like football, so I don't have a problem with that. But baseball, I could take it or leave it. So, well, let me show you the two bushes that I did take care of yesterday. I think I showed you before. Let me show you the after. Those two, and then gave up. My legs were killing me. Even with the walking, my leg muscles are still not as strong as they should be, and I can't stoop, so I have to kind of bend, if that makes sense. And there's a couple like overnight kind of sprouted out a little bit yellow, but for the most part, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I woke up this morning, my thunder thighs were thundering. They were awful. It hurt so bad. I still got two more up here to do. Well, I should have showed you before of that too. Here, let me show you that so you can see, but you can compare it for tomorrow. Okay, that one's looking really bad. And that one's looking bad. Those I don't like, so they can just die. But they keep coming back every year, no matter what I do to try to discourage them. But look how pretty my roses, we just planted those this year. Look how pretty they are. They come out really nice. I usually don't have much luck with roses. And then my bee balm, I got to do something with my, go back a little bit. I got to do something a little bit with my bee balm. But, and then I'm so proud of myself that this one lasted the whole summer. I don't know how that happened. I'm telling you, what's going on here? I'm not centered. There we go. The potted plants, usually, if I plant them myself for some reason, they last longer. But if I buy a potted plant, I don't know if I overwater it, underwater it. I do put a little bit of fertilizer in it, not a lot, but I don't know. I did everything the same this year, so I don't know maybe I just got lucky. Maybe my green thumb is finally turning green. Probably not likely. But like I said yesterday, I kept thinking it was the 17th all day long, and it was the 16th. Anyway, trying to think what's going on. Well, today I gotta stop rocking. Today we're gonna go over to Sophia's so she can try on the cowboy hats. I'll do a video so you can see. I'll show you the ones that we thought she would pick, because Jim and I were different. When we were going for a walk yesterday, or was it the day before, there was some guy had a frame of something up, and I thought it looked like a door frame. Jim says, no, that's a window frame. And I go, no, it's too big for a window. And he says, nope, that's a window frame. And then when we got closer, we asked the worker, what are you framing? And he says, what are you talking about? And I said, well, we have a bet. We're trying to figure out what it is. And he says, well, it's a window frame. And Jim says, thank you. And he says, why? And he says, well, because that's what I said. He says, so I was finally right. And so the guy says, well, we took one for the team then, didn't we? So, I can't help it that I'm right so many times. Not. So anyway, we're going to do that. I have to go to the library to pick up my books. A couple of the books in the series are audiobooks. I do not like audiobooks. You know, as much as I hate paperbacks, I'll tolerate a paperback and read it. I will not listen to an audiobook. I've tried. When my mother had macro degeneration, so she loved to read too. That's where I got my love of reading from, my mother. But we would sit in the room and we would pick a book out and we would listen to it, and I would be going, it was boring. I did like that the different characters, you could tell because they changed their voices and stuff like that, but it just took so long because I can read a book so much faster than listening to the book. But it was time spent with my mother, so, and maybe I have a memory of just being there with my mother listening to books at the end, and it brings me happy memories, but maybe that just brings me a memory that I don't want to repeat that, or I don't know. I don't know what that is all about. But as long as I can read, I'm going to be reading, but not listening to an audiobook. So of the 18 in the series, 3 of them are audiobooks. So I think I have 7 more to read, or 8 more to read. I don't know. I've got a few. I'm not going to get all of them done by the end of the month. I know that. But I plan on finishing the series, no matter how long it takes. Because usually about this time is when I stop reading, because I go in the house and I start watching stuff. Last night I didn't have anything to read, and so I watched Stick on Apple with Owen Wilson. He is so goofy, and I just love him. And I just can't believe he never did anything with that broken nose of his. But I know it's his trademark, so... but he's 57 years old. I would have... when he was doing it, I was thinking he was like in his 40s, and he's 50. So he's almost 60. It's like he aged well, I think. He has that youthful appearance about him. But it was really good. I did like Stick. I don't know anything about golf. I didn't understand a lot of the show when they were talking about the clubs and the drives and the way you hit the ball and what you got to do. And I didn't understand that one thing about it because I don't know now one nary thing about golf. But the actual story was very good. Predictable. Very predictable. But I think all shows nowadays are predictable. They follow a pattern. So, but I would recommend that. And then I started to watch The Paper on Peacock. Just couldn't get into it. I watched 2 episodes. I think it's like a carry-on from The Office, which I never watched. And Danny says it's funny. And I do like, Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell. I love Rainn Wilson. Love him. But why I never watched the show, I don't know. But I think it's on Netflix, so if I ever get bored enough, I can watch that. And then my other shows will be starting up pretty soon. We did tape Dancing with the Stars. Jim and I like watching it. They're not stars, but we like watching it. And so we taped that last night. We taped High Potential and the 1% Club. Jim and I always play along with the 1% Club to see how far we can get, and whether we can use our pass or whatever. And then we never get the 1%. Well, I take that back. One time I got the 1% question. But I would have never got to the 1% question because I lost somewhere along the line. But we do like that. And then I think The Floor is coming back. I love The Floor with Rob Lowe. That's a good show, too. I like game shows. I'm going to try 99 to Beat, I think it's called, with Ken Jeong as the host. I remember his very first time on television was on The View. I saw him. He won. She had a comedy hour, and it was Doctors That Are Funny, and he was hilarious. And he won the competition, and then he went on to become famous. He's still a licensed doctor, but he's more of a comedian. He kind of sometimes tries too hard, but I still like him. And then I think that's going to do it for today. Finish up, do those 2 plants there. Oh, I felt it this morning when I got up with my thighs. I thought, but this can't be from walking. Oh, yeah, yeah. It was from the bending over and pulling the weeds and stuff. That's what did it. So, tomorrow I know we won't be walking in the morning because I have an appointment with one of my doctors. I forget which one. I'd like to keep track of, like I have yearly visits of everything. I go for, like to the gynecologist. I go to the ear doctor. I go to the dermatologist. I go to the eye doctor. I go to my internist. I go to my heart doctor. I go to them all. I want to live forever. I'm not going to live forever, I know that, but I'm going to do the best I can to get there. Even though I got to go kicking and screaming, I'm going to do it. So, all right, that's going to do it for now. I keep looking at it and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a challenge. But I'm going to do it, definitely. So, all right, next time you see somebody, it'll be the dogs barking at me as I get to Christy's house. Talk to you soon. There's the doggies. You gotta let me in. You gotta let me in. There they are. She's up. Nope, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for my close-up.
Let me get drinks.
Stella says, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Where's Sophia?
I'm back.
There they are. There they are. There they are. There's Sophia.
It's the only one I got right now.
That's fine.
How's it fit?
She got a big head.
I know it's not gonna fit.
My hair.
Okay,
That
friend.
is her cover.
Okay. Like a rhinestone cowboy.
I think you got it
with a big
backwards.
ass head. The tag goes in the back.
If I wear it like this, it'll fit.
There you go.
We'll wear it better. See,
There's
I don't
other
have-
ones.
I don't have a big head like you do.
Okay, you
No, I don't.
So you got a combination of a Manning head and a.
Turn it around
Look at the tag, yo.
well,
on the inside.
saying.
On the inside.
Oh.
This one's a little tight.
That one you're probably not gonna win. I got that when we went to Hawaii. Plus, it's not a Western hat, really. It's Hawaiian.
Well, Christy can put it on and see what it'll be like when she's in Hawaii.
Oh, I don't think I'm ever gonna go.
That's true.
That one, that's my best one right there. That's a Stetson. People see you with a Stetson, and they know you've got a cowboy hat.
Well, none of them fit you right, but if you had to pick, which one would you pick?
Either this one or the bottom one.
Which one did you pick, Jim? Show her the other one. Which other one? The blue one?
Yeah, I figured she picked either one of the two.
See, show him the one. Pick him the white one, Christy. That's the one I thought she'd like.
This one?
No, that one. Yeah, that's the one I thought she'd pick.
Oh, her head is way too big for that.
Yeah. Sorry about getting the big head from your grandma.
It's just being so smart.
That's right.
That's what you
You
want to
can
say.
you can keep both of those for right now.
Okay, I went to the library and picked up my books, and this is the book, as I just showed you, that we were going to start reading. If this is from, let's see what it was. Sorry, look at me, taking my time. When they're old books like this, the pages really stick together. This was from 2012, and it is 293 pages. Let me turn. I feel like I'm talking to the air. Anyway, Allie Reynolds investigates two shocking cases of victims brutally left for dead in a New York Times bestseller. When Santa Cruz County Deputy Sheriff Jose Reyes, Allie's classmate from the Arizona Police Academy, is gunned down and left to die, he is at first assumed to be innocent murder victim of the drug wars escalating across the border. but the crime scene investigation shows there's much more to it than that, and soon he and his pregnant wife, Teresa, both fall under suspicion of wrongdoing. Allie owes Reyes a debt of gratitude for the help he gave her years earlier when she was dealing with a troubled friend. When she was summoned to his bedside at Physicians Medical Center, it was impossible for her to turn away. Okay, that's going to be pretty good. We'll start this probably tomorrow. And then poor Sophia, she's got the fat Manning head, the big Manning head. So none of the hats really fit her that well, but she's going to figure out something, some way. It's Spirit Week at school this week, so she borrowed one of the shirts for Monday. I had an Hawaiian shirt that when we went to Hawaii, she borrowed that. And then she had the other stuff, but I guess Friday is Cowboy Day or cowboy hat or something. So they get Western Day or something like that. So she wanted a cowboy hat to wear. So we're home now. We're going to watch our shows. Jim's taped the baseball game. He's already planning on the Tigers losing. He said they can't beat Minnesota or Cleveland. So he seems to think that I whistled there. He seems to think that the Guardians are going to win tonight. We'll see if he's correct in his assumption. So I'm going to get on with the rest of my night. No, it's a little late coming up today, but things to do, places to go, people to see. So we'll talk again tomorrow. Let's check with each other then. How does that sound?